the school you go to, sometimes you can't relate or you don't come from the same background as everyone there. And at La Cima, you feel like there's some kind of connection there. And I feel like it's like a safe space for you and for you to express what you are and who you are. So,
Bienvenidos a la Cima Memorias.
bienvenidos.
It's
Yeah,
I really like the name that we came up with,
yeah,
Cima Memorias.
okay. Gracias.
We want to kick off this interview by inviting you to introduce yourself to our listeners.
Okay, my name's Antonio Garcia. I'm 19 years old. I'm from Vancouver, Washington. I'm currently enrolled at Corbin University. I'm majoring in education, and I'm also a student athlete. I play soccer at Corbin.
Right on.
Yeah,
And how long have you been there?
just my first. I just finished my freshman year, so going
Okay.
into sophomore year. Yeah.
Cuéntanos quién eres.
Yo, yo soy un first male from my family to go to college, and something that I would say that describes me really well is I'm very determined and dedicated. And yeah, so just for example, soccer itself, man, ever since I was little, I've been playing since I was like 5 years old. I knew that I always wanted to keep progressing. I never wanted to settle for just like this is my last year or this is it. You know, I always push myself for that. And that just goes for everything now too. You know, now that um, I started going to school for education too, I found that that's one of my passions as well, not just soccer. And now I'm just finding new ways to get with my community and find new things that I enjoy doing that will continue to make me grow. So before I went off to college, like I was so focused in like I wanted to play soccer in college, and I told myself if I didn't get a scholarship to play, that I wouldn't go to college. And yeah, I was stubborn, you know. I was just like, nah, I need soccer. And my parents would talk to me. They're like, nah, like there's more than that, you know. Like, but I was just so focused on that until, like I said, that I went to La Cima, and I just felt like that came natural, and I found another passion. So just don't like don't get so focused in on something. Like if you have a goal, go for it. But just know that there's gonna be other things coming your way, and that thing that the thing that you think is the only thing that keeps you going is only part of what does keep you going, and more of it's gonna come with time. You just gotta wait for the timing. So yeah, never get frustrated and just do you. And yeah. So my family is from Jalisco, Mexico. They came down here when they were younger. Like most of the students or the delegates that go to La Cima, you know, they're undocumented, or if I'm wrong, you know, like whatever it is, the situation, you come from a similar background. So my parents came over here not having much, and they built pretty much what I would consider like an empire. They have a restaurant. They've been running a restaurant for 20 years. It's successful. They're stable. We're stable, and yeah, so they're really my rock. Like they showed that anything is possible from nothing. So yeah,
Wow,
that's a little bit more about me.
thank you.
Yeah.
Um, can you can you tell me what La Cima means to you?
La Cima, to me, man, to before I didn't want to go, to be honest, because I knew that my sister had mentioned it to me. My sister was a nurse at La Cima, and she reached out to me about this opportunity. She's like, if you're interested, you know, I could get in contact with the people at La Cima, because my school it didn't go through my school, so I had to do it separately. And she told me that it was a week long, no service, no nothing. I was like, nah, I don't. That's not for me, you know. That's not what I'm about. And she finally convinced me. And when I got there, like I said, I showed up by myself. There was no one from my school, no one that I knew. So like the first couple hours, I was just sitting there. I felt comfortable. I was like, I definitely don't want to be here. And then the people there, man, are so amazing. Like right away, they started talking to me. I'm talking the staff, you know, the staff itself, because everyone's shy there at first.
Mhm.
And then the staff got me really involved. And in a matter of hours, I felt like I was at home, talking to students that I never met in my life. And I think a big part of that is just like at home or the school you go to, sometimes you can't relate or you don't come from the same background as everyone there. And at La Cima, you feel like there's some kind of connection there. And I feel like it's like a safe space for you and for you to express what you are and who you are.
What did you leave with or take away from La Cima?
Um, Leadership for sure. I went back to my school, and I think it was after my second year, because I was a delegate there 2 years. After my second year, I took the next year, the first year I went alone. And then the next year, I took 3 friends with me. And after La Cima, we came back to school, and like we were just super motivated and everything that we launched. We decided to start up a mecha at my school. So I was one of the founders, and I just wanted to keep what I learned at mecha and bring it over to my school. So leadership is definitely one of the big things. And also my major, I mean, a lot of the JCs or SCs aren't educators, like that's not their major, but that's pretty much what they were to us. We were with them so much, they would show us, they would teach us. And I just wanted to continue doing that, but like at a higher scale for the rest of my life as my career.
Well, it sounds pretty amazing that one, so you went alone, which is a big
Yeah.
risk.
Yeah.
Second, you brought your people with you to go.
Yeah.
Right. So there's leadership skills there.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds like these experiences helped you think about your career as an educator.
Yes.
Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah. It's, I don't know, man. It happened so naturally, like it just, I came back after and I was like, yeah, I want to work with students. I want to work with students of color, students that don't have the same resources that, you know, that some other like schools provide. It just happened naturally. I don't
Is there a
have much
particular
into.
memory that you made at La Cima that contributed
Oh
to that, or just
yeah.
something that happened for you?
Um, One of the memories I remember really well is after when it was all over. Irving, he was a SC at the time. I went over to him and he hugged me and he was just telling me that like I was great, that I was gonna do great things. And I remember I was crying. I was crying because like that's not something you hear often. And from a male coming to another male, like I feel like that's not something that is really seen for, or like even hugging, crying in front of each other. And after the words he told me, I was just like I knew that I wanted to do the same thing he did for me. So yeah, for other students.
Right on. That's powerful connection.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
So in these moments, in our
Mm-hmm.
in our world right now, what keeps you going in this moment? What motivates you?
My family, for sure. Like I said, they own a restaurant and we're really stable. It's well, but they don't get a lot of off time. They always have to be working. They always have to be grinding. If one of the workers can't make it, they're the ones that have to fill in. So, I mean, just knowing that I could change that for them and for myself, for my future kids, their family. Like, I don't want to be working long hours. I don't want to not be there when sometimes it might be necessary. So, my family for sure.
So also, what actions are you taking for yourself?
For myself, just continuing to push through school, man. This last year it was difficult for me. I actually wanted, like, I was super close to dropping out. I wasn't really liking school, but I thought about, like sometimes the things that are hardest or the things that you don't like, you have to push through because those things are going to be the most rewarding at the end. And it's only temporary, so you just got to push through it. And soccer too, I love soccer and I don't want to stop. I'm not ready to drop that either. So yeah.
Now, to wrap up our interview, we'll do some quick lightning round questions. Here we go.
Right.
What is a podcast or book that you recommend?
Man, I'll be honest, I don't read books or watch too many podcasts, but there's a YouTube page. I mean, a YouTube channel. It's Jubilee. I think that's what it's called. And they have like debates, which is like Democrats and Republicans. And it's like a common ground. So you hear from both sides. And I think that's super beneficial to just hear both sides, And so I would recommend going and watching some of those videos.
Right on.
Yeah.
What is a piece of advice you would say to your younger self or wish you had heard when you were younger?
Um, to keep grinding. That hard times will eventually just with the time and the grind, they'll go away, and that pain or whatever it is you're going through is temporary. And just focus on whatever your goal is.
Thank you. What is a call to action you have for our listeners?
To not be afraid to step out of your comfort zone, and you know, nothing's ever, if it's not gonna kill you, literally, go for it. You know, like just take a risk, and you'll see the result. You'll see the result, or you won't, but you'll find out if it was worth it or not.
Right on.
So just yeah.
Is there anyone that you would like to give gratitude or to thank?
Yeah, my sister for sure. She's older. She was the first in my family to go to college, and she kind of set that like milestone, you know, for me to that path to follow and see that it is possible no matter where you come from. And she just always has the right words to say for me to me whenever I'm feeling unmotivated or whatever it is, because she went through it already. And yeah, she's great. She's great. I love her.
And what's her name?
Anel Garcia.
Wonderful.
So
Thank you so much.
yeah, like for me, like you brought up my sister. She's the one that brought it up to me to go to La Cima. And that's another thing too, you know, if someone approaches you with an opportunity, if that goes with going to work somewhere or going to, I don't know, whatever it is, just consider it and do it if possible, because it might be life changing. So never be so closed in on yourself, and be open to what other people, especially if they come approaching you, if they approach you with an opportunity, because that means they saw some kind of potential in you. And yeah, so
I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for being
all
here.
right. Yeah, thank you for taking time to interview me. All right.